All right. Hello, everyone. So, in the spirit of these talks or these Guadalupan capsules, in this first part, I'd like to welcome everyone who will be part of this journey of formation in Guadalupan pedagogy. Those of us who make up the Guadalupano Plancartino schools, not just because of the name, as you can see there on the screen, do we have something that sets us apart? Is there something specific we need to keep in mind when it comes to understanding and valuing our profession, our service, our way of working within these Guadalupano Plancartino institutions or schools? Is that noticeable? Can you see it? For someone who is an administrator or who coordinates a pedagogy department, is it the same, or should they have in their mind and heart a special approach in their particular area, just like another coordinator would in a public or private institution that isn't Guadalupano Plancartino? Can you recognize and identify where that specific and unique quality I'm referring to with these questions truly needs to originate from, deep within your own mind and within your heart? Without a doubt, to get straight to the point, each of us has and knows the mission that Jesus has proposed to us in the gospel. That mission, which is for all men and women who have found good news in Jesus, is go and teach. In a very special way, the Guadalupano Plancartino institutions and schools have done this in their own unique way. And it's that each of us discovers and remembers, brings to our hearts that mission. And that mission is none other than, you have it right in front of you, to form children and young people in Christian humanism through evangelizing, comprehensive, and harmonious education. This is possible to the extent that we remain faithful to the ideal of Father Jose Antonio Plancarte y Labastida, whom you and I call our founding father, since he set out for these Guadalupano Plancartino institutions to stand out in postmodern society as an educational institution that excels for its Christian humanism and its cultural level. This mission is accompanied by this distinctive trait in the style of Jose Antonio Plancarte y Labastida. And that style is that Jose Antonio Plancarte had a deep devotion to Saint Mary of Guadalupe, which he made a hallmark of his apostolic works. That is why the Guadalupano Plancartino schools are characterized by a love and devotion to the Blessed Virgin of Guadalupe. That is a defining trait, because she has been, is, and will always be the soul and queen of every educational institution. Without a doubt, this distinctive trait is what we call the mystique of the Plancartino schools. And that mystique is to proclaim the true God for whom we live, like Saint Mary of Guadalupe, missionary disciple, whose evangelizing presence and motherly tenderness help bring about conversion and living the faith. In line with these introductory ideas that help us focus and center ourselves on our project, for the 2025 to 2026 school year, we will begin this formation in Guadalupan pedagogy. You have the objective of these segments or of this project right in front of you, and I am going to read it. The objective is to promote the development of leadership among administrators with a deep Marian spirit and Christian values, applying, pay close attention to this, the principles of the pedagogy of Saint Mary of Guadalupe. Our primary objective here is to provide comprehensive training to all of you so that you can have a deeply positive and truly transformative influence on the world that is perfectly aligned with the core mission and values of this educational institution. The objective we have set for ourselves is based on a fundamental guiding principle. This guiding principle will be addressed in general and in a summarized way in these segments. Starting from this text, you can see the cover image in front of you, which is proposed by the Archdiocese of Mexico City for its entire diocese. With these guiding elements, we want to delve deeper, through short segments, into the Guadalupan pedagogy for an enculturated evangelization within our Planck-Cartian educational institutions. If our mission is truly that of José Antonio Plancarte, then his profound love and unwavering devotion to Saint Mary of Guadalupe is a deeply fundamental part, the very soul of our educational institutions. It is our unique way of building true excellence in the young children, adolescents, and the youth of our schools, nourishing and guiding our path as dedicated teachers, as area coordinators, and as leaders in the diverse responsibilities, specific roles, and daily duties each of us has within our institutions. This comprehensive text will serve as a foundational and guiding light for all of us in our work. How will we do it? We will do it with this itinerary that I propose to you, with the aim of delving deeper into some elements. It's not possible to cover them all, as you can see here in the thematic index of the text I just presented to you. You will have that text as a reference, but in these Guadalupe capsules, I will present things to you in this visual way, where you'll see and hear me, and I'll also share a presentation that summarizes this framework of reference regarding what we call Guadalupe pedagogy. These characteristic notes of Guadalupe pedagogy are what led Saint Mary of Guadalupe to become enculturated within the evangelizing process of these lands we now call Mexico. Once you have the chance to enlighten yourself and discover some characteristic element of this Guadalupe pedagogy that I will present in this way, I'm going to ask you to do some personal reflection work. And this personal reflection work I'm proposing to you, the terms, the methods, and the modes of reflection, along with questions to help focus our common way of discovering those characteristics that lead us to review our work actions and our leadership, well, it simply must be done in a positive way. Finding the good, what exists, what is there, is a way to understand these positive characteristics. But what's positive also has a key aspect. It's about finding evidence, not assumptions, not ideals. We're going to review our actions, and we need to identify personal and community behaviors. We need to analyze and discover in a positive way, with evidence, with data, whether I find in myself and in my community the characteristics of that pedagogy. If it's a characteristic trait, it shows. It shows in me and in my community, in my service. Just as Saint Mary of Guadalupe is showing us certain ways, attitudes, and behaviors she had in evangelizing this people, we too can positively discover the good, what works, what unites me, and what is evident in that pedagogy or those characteristics of Saint Mary of Guadalupe. But also not just ideally, but by seeing it, noticing it, discovering it, and writing it down in my work and in my personal reflection. So that at some other time, before the next talk or the next Guadalupe capsule, we can already include in our growth a moment of community dialogue, which you can do, joined with another activity if you wish. But if you are here receiving this training as a department, as a group, well, it's good to share it and have a moment to share your own experiences in an open and friendly dialogue with other members, other colleagues, both men and women, who are part of our daily work. That will help us not only to personally review our actions in the style of the Guadalupan pedagogy, but also to discover if there are ways and means to deepen, increase, review, and also transform our environment. That is exactly why the second fundamental point, as clearly stated in the goals of our Guadalupan capsule objectives, is not only to look at the positive side of things, but also to focus on the specific actions that can help us to transform and improve our environment. If these changes do not show within me first, then how can we possibly work together so that it eventually shows in all of us? And in that us, the encouragement from others helps me to transform my own life. And also, what I live and experience served as motivation, testimony, and support so that others, together with me, can also transform our community reality. T, the Guadalupan pedagogy, will lead us to that personal and communal response so that we can transform our environment. And if it doesn't show, well, let it start to show.